Alright, you guys, I am gonna do another video. I'm gonna try to keep it under 15 minutes so that I can post it to Instagram Live. So we're gonna work on, I'm gonna show you how to do, this is at the zoo. They have a bench there and right down in front of it is a bunch of gardens, but I love this perspective. I don't know if you can see it. I will show you a little closer version. But I'm going to sketch out those benches, and I'm going to do my best to do a time lapse of the sketching. Once I get set up, I'll show you how I'm set up. I'll do a time lapse of the sketching, and I'll try to talk through my notes as I'm sketching, show you what I changed and what I'm working on, and then I'll add some color again. So this is kind of a, if you've ever taken my sketching with a pop of color class, that's basically what we're going to do with these benches. Alright. See that thing? That's my light for my vlogging. But there's a little better view of the benches. I just love how this curves around, and so the perspective is kind of tricky to get when you're sketching, but I'll show you a few steps. Here's a better picture if you want to pause and sketch with me. So here's my tools. I got a little ruler, just a mechanical pencil. This one is 5.5 lead. This is a PVC eraser. There's also white ones. You can use white ones too. And then a kneaded eraser. I use that a lot. Some kind of smudge stick. You can use a Q-tip or a smudge stick. I have this little tiny eraser that's basically a mechanical pencil, but it's a mechanical eraser. And then I'm gonna use these watercolors, and I'm gonna use the brush pen this time with the water in it instead of an actual brush. Also, this paper is a little bit toned. I don't know if you can see it. It's like a blue tone compared to white, just barely, a little bit toned. Alright, so I'm gonna get to sketching, and I'll put it in time lapse. Okay, so here we go. I'm not sure why I always mess up and have it hanging halfway off of the screen. Anyway, so I just start out with a pencil and I just do some light marks at first to try to get all of those shapes and get the lines going the right way. This one is real tricky with the curve of all the benches, and trying to get the curve of the benches to line up with the curve of the top. So I went ahead and did quite a bit of detail on these benches. I was a little nervous I wasn't going to be able to pull this one off, actually. But so once I get to the beams up there, you'll see me scooting them around quite a bit because I worked a little too fast and tried to sketch them in without that ruler, and it was a little confusing. So once I took my time and went back, then it started to come a little easier. And then all of the shadows and the beams are really important on this picture to make it look like the air is coming through there. But yeah, as I got farther and farther away, you see the detail kind of get smaller and disappear. Things get a little bit blurry, but if you can get the detail pretty good at the beginning or at the close stuff, then your eye just puts in the detail by itself when it gets farther away. But yeah, then I went over it with some pen and did some erasing, and like I usually do. So I got it all sketched in there, and then went over it with my pen and erased a little bit. You can see me struggle with those beam angles. So it's tricky. These ones down here go this way, and then as they come up, then all of a sudden this one's going back down. So that was kind of tricky and a challenge to get get that lined up. If you're gonna do this project, it is quite challenging. It has a quite challenging perspective when everything's on a curve. So just be willing to either struggle a little bit or don't go for so much detail. Break it down into bigger chunks and less detail. Just hint at shapes of benches. Don't start to put in all those lines if you need to break it down into make it a little easier. So just focus on these big shapes, that kind of stuff. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and do some color, and I'm gonna use this water brush, and I'm gonna use these watercolors. And so I'm just gonna go ahead and fill it in time lapse. So I just start off with yellow oxide. Basically, I just start using yellow oxide, maybe some burnt sienna, burnt umber, and a little bit of black for the logs. Then I put a dash of blue for that shadow. You saw me mix a splash of red in there because the blue was too blue and I wanted it to go to gray. And so I splashed that blue in, and then it went to gray, and I kind of liked the purple and the red, so I left it. And then some more outlining and to make it pop. And yeah. Alright, you guys. This one was a little challenging. Turned out pretty cool though, I think. I hope you enjoyed the video of it. And if you can see when you get really close, it's just blobs of paint and little wiggly marks. And when you come out, looks like a picture. That was pretty cool, huh? This is called the Sensory Garden, I think, in the zoo. That's what I wrote on it, so I hope it's called that. But, yeah, go and check out the zoo if you're in Billings. Or check out their Instagram. They do some pretty cool videos of some of the critters. Especially now when everything's probably closed. You probably can't go in there. But also, if you liked these, if you like how these look, we do sell them. So come and pick one up. We have quite a few of them for sale. I think they're $34. Yeah, so that's kind of sketching with a pop of color that I do. And of course, that one got pretty advanced. I usually try to keep it just a little bit of, or like all sketching and then one or two colors is the pop of color. This one I basically just went ahead and did a watercolor. But I hope that inspires you and gets you fired up. Try it out this week. Sketch something. Find some pictures of something around town. Drive around town, take some pictures. And then go to sketching. And post your pictures of your stuff. We would love to see it. Tag us in it so we know that you posted it. All right, have a good one, you guys. We'll see you in the next one.